there's an interesting issue with man-made deserts here in the Southwest. Um, when you look around the world at deserts that are have been documented in history to have been created by humans, the soil conditions, the way the watershed works, the types of plants, and etc. They all exhibit very specific patterns, and those patterns are also identically expressed in the Sonoran Desert, where I live in southern Arizona, northern Mexico. Further, the a large portion of the plants and animals that live in the Sonoran Desert and make up the natural ecology of the Sonoran Desert are invasive from neighboring regions. So it kind of like came in from all directions. Um, Animals and plants that could handle the new climate, the new soil conditions. And notably, none of this was here. It wasn't a desert 10,000 years ago, which puts it, the entire formation of the Sonoran Desert, within the period of human habitation of the region. And then there's strange details like the fact that Tucson is part of the Sonoran Desert, even though the altitude of Tucson is wrong. We're too high. And just over you can almost see it from a house actually, just over the hill, where it's the same elevation. It's not part of the Sonoran Desert, but it's on the other side of the mountains, making it a non-contiguous region. Right? There's kind of like a break. So if it was really about climate, if it was purely climate based, that area should be part of the Sonoran Desert, but it's not. It's not. So I think that the Sonoran Desert is man-made. It's another one of these things. But you can't really get anybody to accept this because the whole like noble savage bullshit, right? Where Native Americans were just in tune with nature and subjects to the whims of God or whatever the fuck. Right, white people, Arabs, Chinese people, right? We can make deserts, but no, the Native Americans, they live in harmony and balance with. Okay, well, that sounds nice on the surface, it denies them their basic humanity. That's also when you look at the region, the Sonoran Desert doesn't make sense as a purely climate-driven phenomenon. It doesn't make sense. It follows the patterns of other man-made deserts, not naturally occurring deserts. It doesn't, for instance, look like the Sahara. So, I don't know. I think this is interesting. Like, also, notably, yeah, the desertification, it spread from the Gila River, which, if you're gonna be building large humans as societies, you're going to want water. That's where there's water. It's spread from there. And it's spread from there over what was basically the flat land. Once you hit the mountains, it kind of gets broken up. And the region just over the mountain there, there's, in that area, there's juniper and uh, pinyon, and there's trees. There's no trees over here. There's no trees. The trees that we have here are mesquite and palo verde. Completely different. But the mesquite and palo verde is contiguous, more or less, across the Sonoran Desert. Whereas that, like, juniper, pinyon, scrub kind of stuff it kind of extends north there into Arizona. And it's what this area, what Tucson used to be. What the area around Phoenix used to be. What the area around the Tono Odom Reservation used to be. Most of the Sonoran Desert used to be just 5 to 10,000 years ago. Why did it change? We get basically identical rainfall to the juniper forest that's 20 miles away from me at the same elevation. We get the same annual temperatures, the same annual rainfall, we're the same elevation. Why is it different? If it's naturally occurring, if it's climate driven, that doesn't make sense.